Welcome to the Advocare Texas Kickoff, presented on ABC by Walmart as part of Field & Stream Stores Kickoff Week. NRG Stadium in Houston. It's a top 15 matchup to kick off the best college football opening weekend ever. Third-ranked Oklahoma, a playoff team from a year ago. And the Houston Cougars, fresh off a 13-win season and a New Year's Six bowl win. Hi, everybody. Alongside Greg McElroy, I'm Dave Pasch. And, Greg, there are 4 games this opening weekend with ranked teams involved, but this is the only one featuring 2 teams that finished in the top 10 in 2015. And all the stars are back. The headliner is Baker Mayfield, the outstanding Oklahoma quarterback who is Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. He has bigger goals, though, in mind here in 2016.
He's one of the best in the country as far as keeping plays alive in the pocket. He's so creative. Now, they don't design a lot of runs for him, but the way he extends plays and allows his receivers time to get open, there's few in the country that do it better than him. That's why he finished 4th in the Heisman last year. Houston's going to have their hands full with this quarterback today.
All right, Tom Luganville is our field analyst, and Tom, Greg Ward, the quarterback on the other side for Houston. So dangerous running the ball among returning players. The only guy that had more rushing touchdowns was LSU's Leonard Fournette.
Yes, and Greg Ward Jr. touches the ball on every snap. Oklahoma defensively ends last season with Deshaun Watson, but Greg Ward Jr., the Houston quarterback's an entirely different dimension. Diminutive, explosive, sudden. For Oklahoma on defense, this is akin to Rocky chasing chickens in the alley.
Oklahoma ranked in the top 5 for the 5th time preseason team history, but they've never finished higher than 15th when that's the case. Bob Stoops is now the longest tenured coach by 1 day over Kirk Ferentz in college football. 18th year for Stoops at OU. And on the other side, you got Tom Herman only in his 2nd year, but if he wins today, he'll be the hottest commodity in coaching if he isn't already.
I think he already is. A lot of people really believe in the system that he tries to apply. He has everybody here in Houston really paying attention to this football team.
And we woke up to some scary news this morning with an earthquake measured at 5.6 that centered near Pawnee, Oklahoma, which is about 100 miles from Norman. It was felt all the way down in Arlington, where the USC-Alabama game will be tonight. But the latest reports say there is some damage, but no injuries. It is the biggest quake in Oklahoma since 2011. Sooners won the toss. They will receive. Ty Cummings will boot it deep to Joe Mixon and Daniel Brooks for Oklahoma. And it'll be Mixon from the 2. He's past the 20-yard line, and that's about it. Baker Mayfield, one of the best stories in college football, a 2-time walk-on. He started out at Texas Tech, was the freshman of the year, 2013, transferred to Oklahoma, where he won the Burlsworth Trophy, which goes to the best player who began his career as a walk-on. He finished 4th in the Heisman Trophy voting. He accounted for 43 touchdowns, 3,700 passing yards in 2015. Redshirt junior, he got a year back of eligibility, which was originally lost due to NCAA rules, but he got it back, so he's got 2 more years to play for OU. From the 21, he'll swing it out to Perine, and Perine picks up about 5 to the 26-yard line. You see, that's Mayfield shushing all the critics a year ago and wondered if this guy could lead Oklahoma to a playoff spot.
It's not about stats. It's all about intangibles with Baker Mayfield. He's one of the best in the country about making everyone else around him better.
Mayfield's throw is pulled in. First down grab by D.D. Westbrook. I understand, Greg, you voted for Mayfield to win the Heisman Trophy last year.
I thought it was absolutely ridiculous that he wasn't in New York for their ceremony. I thought he was as good as anybody in the country. He made OU so much better. When he wasn't on the field, they were a totally different team. He's off to a good start here.
And a high snap. Mayfield does a good job. And he's going to get out of trouble across the 30-yard line. Mayfield past the 40 and slides to the 41. Wow.
A brand new center being broken in, Jonathan Alvarez. He was a guard last year. He also has a talented freshman lining up in front of him, Ed Oliver. We'll get to him a little later. But Baker Mayfield, this is what he does. You just can't prepare for it. He can make something out of nothing. And he did it time and time again over the course of the season last year.
You know, he's got some of that Johnny Manziel swagger, and he makes some plays like Manziel. Picked up 7 yards there when he should have lost 7. It's Perine on 2nd and short, and a huge hole off the right edge. Perine into Houston territory. Garrett Davis finally gets him down after a pickup of 15.
It's the healthiest Perine's ever been. He was banged up at the end of last year, still ran for a ton of yards, a ton of touchdowns, a lot of production. He's one of the best backs in the country, and I think him and Joe Mixon make up a 1-2 punch that everybody wishes they had.
Think about it. He needs only 1,000 yards this year to break the Oklahoma rushing record. All the greats that have played here, Adrian Peterson, Billy Sims, Perine statistically will be the best by the time he's done. He's to the 40-yard line. 4 yards there. Matthew Adams brings him down.
I think it's pretty safe to assume he will be, by season's end, Oklahoma's career-leading rusher. Like you said, 1,000 yards away. The way he's going and the way he looks and the way he practices, he might get there by about game 8 or 9.
Coaches say he's a little bit faster this year. 235 pounds. Mayfield to Westbrook, and he's tripped up, but able to get close to the first down. They're going to spot him down at the 35, just short. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Sooners.
And right here, thinking run play all the way, because you still probably are thinking 4th down, you're going to go for it anyways, even if you come up short.
And Perine able to get the first down. Driven back, but he did pick it up.
When you look at this offense, fellas, Oklahoma, no Joe Mixon yet. In fact, he's coming in the game right now. It's been 36 Dimitri Flowers and Samanje Perine. The intent to run the football is to get an undersized Houston defense to load the box, and that's why you're seeing these quick hitters out on the perimeter to get Oklahoma's skilled personnel in space right now.
And Luke's Mixon complements Perine. Perine big body, Mixon smooth, elusive athlete.
And here is Mixon at 6'1", 220, and he's got speed, and he's got a touchdown. A 32-yard touchdown run by Joe Mixon. Great start for Oklahoma. He had 7 rushing touchdowns last year. Now Austin Seibert makes it 7-0 OU.
What a start for Oklahoma. And you can see right here, Joe Mixon lining up in the backfield. He's absolutely automatic. Once he hits that left foot, immediately right upfield, there's nobody home. And once he turns on the afterburners.
So Brandon Wilson, a very dangerous return man. We'll get a crack at this one here for Houston. Well, he stumbled. Lose a shoe there. Yeah, and he doesn't make it to the 15. Dumped at the 12. So Greg Ward Jr. will be backed up, but he's a dynamic player. Started his career at Houston as a wide receiver, was moved to quarterback last year, and was the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl MVP, set a bunch of records, not just in Houston, but in the American Conference. 21 rushing touchdowns only. Fournette had more, plus he had 17 passing touchdowns, and he doesn't turn the ball over. Only 185 pounds, 5'11". He's actually gained 12 pounds from a year ago. Kevin Justice starting. He's going to start the first play, and then Duke Catalon will come in. Catalon being benched, a conditioning issue. Ward rolling out. His pass pulled in, a broken tackle. Dunbar still going. Finally wrapped up at the 30-yard line after 19 yards. Ward, one of 2 quarterbacks last year to rush for 1,000 yards and pass for 2,000. The other guy was Deshaun Watson. Watson passed for 4,000. Quick pass to Catalan, and Catalan stays in bounds. Finally shoved out around midfield by Ahmad Thomas.
It's a great run by Catalan, but an even better block by Chance Allen, the Z receiver on the outside, locking up, holding the DB for a long time. Nice work.
Ward off play action. Almost a one-handed grab. Linnell Bonner unable to hang on. 2nd down and 10.
Ward is just so quick. It's so hard to simulate what he does at quarterback. Fortunately for OU, they have a player named Kyler Murray, who played at Texas A&M, all-world recruit a couple years ago, who is a little bit similar in stature and speed. So they are at least a little prepared for what Greg Ward can do to them with his legs.
Tried to simulate him in practice. Here's Catalan, finds a running lane. Catalan inside the 40-yard line. Jordan Thomas and Ahmad Thomas on the tackle. Catalan, a Texas transfer. He verbaled before his junior year of high school. Ends up back here in Houston, his hometown. It's Catalan, and he's got no running room. Will Johnson there first. No gain.
When you see that matchup down the sideline, as I was standing right next to Stephen Dunbar, aside from a call that was a poor call, Stephen Dunbar gets up and looks right at Greg Ward Jr., says, hey, that's on me. Standing behind him, Stephen Dunbar only attempted to get one hand on the football to catch the ball. Should have caught the football, and they'd be sitting there with a touchdown on the 2-yard line.
I'm with you, Luke. I mean, I think if you go up with 2, high point it, he's got a better chance at it, trying to shield off that defender.
Here's Catalan, little misdirection. Stacked up as another Oklahoma helmet comes off at the 19-yard line. So that's a pickup of 3. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7. That's Jordan Evans, captain linebacker, that will have to come out for this play.
Don't want to lose him. Not on 3rd and an important down right here in the red zone. Great thing about having Ward at quarterback, he can go run or pass here because the ball in his hand, he's your best playmaker, so gives Major Applewhite, the OC, everything in his playbook, even on 3rd and long.
They're going to hand it off here to Catalan. Nowhere to go. Emmanuel Beal, who came in for Jordan Evans, in on the stop with Tay Evans. Interesting call there. Don't know if that was a misread by the quarterback to hand it there. Who knows? But just a straight handoff on 3rd down, and Houston has to kick a field goal. Major Applewhite, the offensive coordinator. 2nd year here at Houston. The entire staff, save one assistant, stayed with Tom Herman, and all of them had chances to go elsewhere after a 13-win season. And the attempt sneaks inside that left upright for Ty Cummings to get the Cougars on the board. Deep kickoff, and it'll be a touchback. OU will start at the 25. Joe Mixon, who just had that touchdown run, is out there for Oklahoma on 1st and 10 at the Sooner 25. Mayfield with a ton of time, throwing a deep ball to Mixon. What a grab! Mixon breaks a tackle. Finally brought down at the 15.
What a catch. What a catch. Wow. Every quarterback is always told, hey, know who you're throwing it to. Running backs, you got to put it right on them. Baker Mayfield a little overthrown. Mixon makes up for it. What an incredible play.
Here's Westbrook on the wide receiver screen. Bumped out of bounds at the 10. Gets into a little bit of a shoving match with Garrett Davis. Up tempo by the Sooners. 2nd and 5. Mixon comes out. Ryan goes in.
And Flowers, too. He does a really nice job at the fullback spot. Kind of a unsung hero in the backfield. Doesn't get mentioned enough, but does a lot of good things for him. Number 36 on the left side of Baker Mayfield.
Play fake. Mayfield. Everybody covered. Mayfield dancing out of there. heading for the sideline, gets positive yardage. Picked up 1. 3rd down and 4.
Good job right there by the Houston defense, not uncovering from the wide receivers. Baker Mayfield, you see when he exits the pocket, he's still looking downfield. Right here on 3rd down, though, Todd Orlando, I bet you he's bringing some pressure. Make Baker Mayfield throw it a little quicker than he probably wants to here in the red zone.
Keep an eye on that guy, number 10 for Houston, get some push at nose guard for the Cougars. They double him. Mayfield pumps, backs up, looking, steps up, takes off, and takes a shot. Wow, Matthew Adams pummels him. A 1-yard gain, but it's 4th down.
Such a good job in the secondary. Such a good job by this inexperienced secondary. And then Baker Mayfield, look, he slid when he had a run a little earlier. These are the hits he has to avoid. He got dinged up a couple times last year. He needs to be a little smarter. I know it's 3rd down, trying to make a play, but he's too important, too valuable to this team to take hits like that on a regular basis.
He missed games last year because of those shots. Seibert going to try a 25-yarder. And it's good. But that has to feel like a win for Houston after that big pass play to Mixon. The Cougars on defense hold, and it's 10-3 Oklahoma. We are kicking off the greatest opening college football weekend ever here from Houston. We expect a lot of scoring. We've got it already. 10-3 midway through the first. Brandon Wilson is deep for the Cougars. And Wilson thought about taking a knee, and he won't even make it to the 10. Last time he was brought down at the 12. Taylor with the stop for OU.
You and I tried to simulate. I think I juked you out a couple times too.
Ward on the pump fake, comes the other way, and a diving attempt, but incomplete. Bonner could not hang on. He had Houghton, who is Stephen Parker's replacement. Parker, starting safety for Oklahoma, shake it up. Let's see here. Now, definitely an incomplete pass.
It's good effort, though, and good coverage. Going right after Quill Houghton early. First couple snaps in. Go cover a corner route, big man.
Boy, they already got the shoulder pads off. It was a wicked shot. Parker, helmet to shoulder of Greg Ward. 2nd and 15. Kevin Justice in now at running back. The wide receiver screen. Here's Isaiah Johnson. Past midfield. Gets the first down. Tay Evans slams him to the ground, but it's an 11-yard pass play.
Look at the first down, Greg. You get a first down. Look how fast Houston is getting to the line of scrimmage. They do not want to allow Oklahoma to be able to substitute here. This is where you start kicking in the tempo.
From the OU 46. Greg Ward doing a lot more this year than we saw last year. They gave him a lot more freedom. Oklahoma bringing a blitz. Ward gets back to the line of scrimmage, brought down by Jordan Evans. 3rd and long. 2nd and long, excuse me.
2nd and long. You have everything here. Lugs, I mean, we haven't seen a quarterback draw yet from Greg Ward. That's something they run all the time, a lead draw. At some point, you got to assume that's going to be dialed up by Major Applewhite, the Houston offensive coordinator.
How'd you like that little formation? They shifted
stack. I like it.
Literally about a foot from each other. That's another quarterback back there, De'Ara King. And there's 2 quarterbacks running the option. Ward keeps it, brought down at the 41. So he gets a chunk to bring up a 3rd and 5 or 6 here. King was a quarterback, signed as a QB. He's got to play wide receiver right now because they don't have a lot of depth there.
He's quick, though, man. Lugs, you liked him a lot, I know, when he was coming out.
So explosive. The noise is kicking up down here now, guys.
Big 3rd down here. Houston with a little momentum after holding the Sooners to a field goal. 2 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Ward with time, got single coverage, and the pass is juggled and caught. Dunbar with the grab inside the 10.
See him picking up the pace. They don't want to possibly get a challenge right here. This is heads-up playing right here by Greg Ward.
Catalan. Good run by Catalan between the tackles. Gets inside the 10. This is a dimension that Houston had last year, but they're thinking that Catalan can give them an even better option at the tailback spot. 12th play of the drive. They're inside the 10-yard line. Ward back to throw. Moving to his left and throws it away. A smart play there by Ward. Nothing there.
Very smart. Give yourself an opportunity on third down. Don't make a bad play worse. Luke's, this Houston offense, they gain a ton of yards, and they're just as good in the red zone. Really excelled there last year.
You know, you talk about all the stats that everybody wants to follow. They care about two stats here on offense: third down conversion and red zone production. That's why this drive's so critical, down by 7.
Welcome to 2016. It's all about tempo offenses and bend, don't break defensively.
3rd and goal. Design quarterback run for Ward, and he's dropped at the line of scrimmage. It's interesting, twice they get down there. The first time they do a straight handoff, the second time a design quarterback run. Very conservative in the red zone to get points on both drives. You agree with that?
Those plays have been effective for this Houston team before, but right now a lot of their success is on the perimeter. The bubble screen, some of the quick throws to the outside. They haven't had a ton of success inside just yet. I think they're trying to get comfortable and get into the flow of the game. But I'm good with the play call because you're still going to get an opportunity to kick a field goal, and you're not going to potentially make a mistake by throwing it into coverage.
So that's the end of the first quarter. Houston will attempt a field goal when we come back. 10-3, Oklahoma after 1. The Houston Cougars, who represented the group of 5 in the New Year's Six Bowl last year, beat Florida State to win 13 games. They finished 8th. They're 15th to start 2016. They've looked good so far, but stopped twice in the red zone, had to settle for field goal attempts. This will be a 27-yard try by Ty Cummings. He only had 8 attempts all of last year. It's the second one of this game. And that one just sneaks inside the right upright. And Luke's, we talked with Tom Herman yesterday, and again, he lost just one coach who got a better opportunity. Todd Orlando had a chance to go to Wisconsin. He turned that down. Major Applewhite had some opportunities. They told us it's because when you're on Tom Herman, coaching is fun. Look, it's a grind. It's a long year, but he makes it fun every day.
It's hard enough to coach this game and to produce wins. Who wants to go to work and be miserable every day? So the work environment here is a big component, not to mention they've got some things rolling in a bright future.
It'll be a touchback. OU starts on the 25. Here's Oklahoma starting this drive on its 25-yard line. And it's a pass play. It's Perine out of the backfield. Oh, what a shot he took. Garrett Davis. And that's a big dude that you are somehow getting to the ground at 235 and Perine.
Squaring them up, man. I'll tell you what, this Houston team, sometimes group of 5 teams don't look quite as impressive physically. That's not the case for the Houston Cougars. When you go and watch them practice, they have guys all over the field that look like big-time program players, one of which is their nose tackle.
And Perine with the, you're talking about Ed Oliver. Perine with the left shoulder that he's favoring after getting drilled by Garrett Davis. So Mixon is in the game, along with Daniel Brooks right now for Oklahoma. And here is Brooks trying to get outside. Wrapped up and dropped. Brandon Wilson in run support, along with Stephen Taylor, an excellent player, an inside linebacker for the Cougars.
It's unfortunate. Oklahoma's 3rd string running back is Rodney Anderson. He actually is going to miss the season with a neck injury. So they turn here, obviously, to Daniel Brooks. He's one of the fastest players on the team, but certainly not as big or as powerful as what Samanje Perine has been.
Mac, that's a great point on Anderson. The coaches told us they're going to miss him, even though they have Mixon and Perine, that they felt that was a big loss. Here's 3rd and 1. Mixon, no way. Brought down to the backfield by a host of Cougars. Ed Oliver leading the charge. The nose tackle you mentioned, forcing a punt.
It's a great call by Todd Orlando, bringing pressure, making sure that they wrap up in the backfield. You had a feeling that Joe Mixon was going to come downhill on 3rd and short. Perine would usually be the guy in that situation. They had to rely on the faster, more elusive player. Unfortunately, their starting running back, Samanje Perine's on the sideline nursing an injury.
Here's Seibert, who handles all the kicking duties for Oklahoma. And the fair catch made by Dunbar at the 25. Greg Ward Jr. back at it. His team down 4, early second. Houston starting on its 25-yard line. 3rd and 10. Ward is 2 for 2 on 3rd downs through the air. Great adjustment, and Bonner able to pull it in. We have seen some terrific catches here in the first half. Bonner with an excellent catch.
Great catch, but even better throw. Remember, we warned you about the pump. There it is. Back shoulder throw. It is absolutely impossible to cover. Excellent accuracy on display outside the numbers by Greg Ward. It's an area in which he's tried to improve over the offseason.
And I don't think it's even close how much better of a passer he is and what we've seen in this game as to what we saw in the Peach Bowl last year. They run Catalan here. He's hog-tied after a gain of about 3 yards. Tackle made by Austin Roberts. A couple of yards there on 1st and 10.
Interesting, not a ton of tempo right here. Houston, usually after a 1st down, they are a million miles an hour. Trying to get the right play called here, I think Major Rappawhite's doing. So playing a little bit slower, making sure they have the correct play ready to roll.
Ward with time. Looking, waiting. Now zips it downfield. Open man. It's caught inside the 30 by Johnson. Ward with a strike, and Johnson kept moving, finally shook the defender, and it's a gain of 45 yards.
Tempo, tempo, tempo. They don't want to let Oklahoma substitute. Here they come in the red zone.
Ward rolls left and dumps it off to Bonner. Scoots out at the 14-yard line, right at the 1st down marker. So Houston in the red zone, Greg, the last 2 times they were down here. Now they got 3rd down. They stayed conservative. Let's keep an eye on the play calling here.
Don't want to take the ball out of Greg Ward's hands too often. He's not the most accurate passer, so I understand if they want to keep it on the ground and let him win with his legs.
Ward. Oh, Catalan wide open. An easy touchdown. Houston leads. We said keep an eye on the play calling. How about that one dialed up by Major Applewhite?
I think they were setting him up with the inside run, and then all of a sudden you fake the naked to the right, throw back to the left. Walk in for Duke Catalan. Great play call.
First collegiate touchdown for Catalan. Transfer from Texas. Has not played since 2013. He redshirted at Texas a couple years ago, then sat out last year as a transfer. The point after makes it 13-10 Cougars. Greg Ward with his first touchdown pass of the season. It's to the running back, Catalan. Uncovered out of the backfield. So the Houston Cougars have the lead 13-10 over Oklahoma. Greg Ward Jr., 4 of 6 passing, 73 yards on that drive. Mixon, the deep man, and elects to take a knee. It will come out to the 25. Let's see now how the Sooners respond. It's been a while since Baker Mayfield threw the ball. Mixon is in. Perine still out. Mixon out of the backfield. Look out. Past the 30-yard line. Dropped by Garrett Davis after a good first down play.
Fellas, if you recall the big pass that led to that touchdown drive, the play right before the touchdown, they picked on Obo as well. You had a wide receiver against a 250-pound linebacker, so he's swimming off the previous play, and he gets caught up in the next one, and it cost him.
Again, Oklahoma, Tom, having trouble running the football since that first drive. You had 4 or 5 Cougars, including Matthew Adams and Brandon Wilson over there, taking down Mixon. So a loss on the play brings up third down.
It's a big third down for Oklahoma. Really big third down. 3rd and 4. Houston's got some momentum. Baker Mayfield, this is when he's at his best.
And you don't have Perine.
No Perine.
Went to the locker room. 3rd and 4. Mayfield to the sideline, and it's caught, but
just enough.
Yeah, just enough to move the sticks there. Geno Lewis, the grad transfer from Penn State, who had 90 career catches in Happy Valley, gets on the first down.
A good job by Geno Lewis, knowing where the sticks are, getting just enough, about a yard more than the sticks, and a good accurate throw by Baker Mayfield, trying to get him back in rhythm throwing the football.
No incompletions yet. 7 of 7 for Mayfield. Mayfield rolling out, got a man wide open. Mark Andrews uncovered. Andrews taking it to the house, and the Sooners are back in front. Talk about great play calls.
I'll say
Lincoln Riley comes back with that, a 64-yard touchdown.
He said, Major Applewhite, you're a great offensive coordinator, but I am the reigning Broyles Award winner. The assistant coach of the year in college football, Lincoln Riley, is the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma. Great execution, too, and a little bit of a bust in the secondary by this Houston defense.
49th career touchdown pass by Baker Mayfield. 17-13 Oklahoma. Mark Andrews had 7 touchdown catches last year. Caught only 19 balls, but they are all big plays like this one.
Yeah, good throw by Baker Mayfield. Big boy running downfield. Get the knees up. Touchdown, Sooners.
This game so highly anticipated since Oklahoma went to the playoff and Houston made it to a New Year's 6 game, and it has not disappointed. Oklahoma signed on to play Houston a couple of years ago. The Cougars weren't very good at that time. So you look at Oklahoma's schedule. You get this. In 2 weeks, they got Ohio State, then at TCU. They have a 4-point lead here midway through the second quarter. Cougars will start on their 25. Catalon still on the Houston bench. Ward rushed for over 1,000 yards last year. He's going to throw it here to Dunbar. He's got some blockers. Dunbar thrown out of bounds by Cobb. There's a flag, and there should be a flag. He was clearly out of bounds. True freshman Parrish Cobb, instead of letting him go, threw him. And that's going to be 15 yards.
A personal foul by number 4 of the defense. The penalty is 15 yards. Anything automatic first down.
Bob Stoops was all over Parrish Cobb. Remember, Zach Sanchez, now in the NFL, we think, although he got released according to reports today after being drafted. But, you know, Sanchez was their guy last year. He's gone. They got a lot of young players in the secondary, including Cobb. Big mistake. Ball on the 37. Ward looking deep. Airing it out for Dunbar. Incomplete. They went right at Cobb. Pass was too high.
That's 4 times Dunbar has gotten behind the defense. 4 times. And Greg Ward right now is only 1 for 4. They have to figure out a way to get on the same page because Dunbar's doing a great job winning. Ward, little amped up, little fired up, missing just a little bit long. A few too many times for my comfort level, Lugs.
Yeah, and you know what? You're 1 for 4 because the throws you're attempting aren't high percentage.
Catalon back in the game. You'd think Houston's in 4-down territory. They love to go for it on 4th down. Here's Ward to Dunbar. Back shoulder throw. Dunbar jukes a defender. Now he stepped out. Dunbar stepped out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Again, they target Parrish Cobb, the true freshman.
Greg Ward says, I've missed you deep. Let me throw you on the back shoulder. If we can't hit the long one over the top, let me hold you up, throw you away, throw you open. Great job.
And clearly out of bounds.
Great throw. Wow. Greg Ward is a different type of player this year throwing the football.
Night and day, Greg. Night and day from last year. That's what Tom Herman told us. Sometimes coaches say that, but he's all over it.
He is.
First down at the 12. Ward in trouble. Big trouble. Swallowed at the 21-yard line. Charles Walker got pressure for OU.
Charles Walker, Will Johnson, Stephen Parker, you name it. Not a very good job on the perimeter by these Houston wide receivers. Usually so good blocking. Right there, couldn't hold up long enough, and it results in a negative play in the red zone.
There's Mike Stoops, Bob's brother. One-time head coach at Arizona, D-coordinator here at Oklahoma. Quarterback run, Ward making defenders miss in the hole. Gets to the 15-yard line. So he got 5 yards back. Evans on the stop. Third down at about 13 coming up.
They've been conservative in the third down red zone area. We've seen a couple of runs. We saw Greg Ward on an internal run, a sweep. I would assume right here they'll probably try to play it a little conservative as well. That's been the way they've done things so far up to this point. Maybe they break the mold here. But I would assume quarterback draw on third and long. Hopefully Greg Ward can make a guy miss or two.
They go 5 wide. That spreads out the Oklahoma defense. You see it there. Only 5 guys in the box. Ward's going to throw. Airing it out. End zone. Overshot. Chance Allen. Going against Jordan Thomas. Outstanding corner for Oklahoma. But they took the shot there. Here comes the field goal team.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. You got one-on-one coverage on the outside. Your best receiver, Chance Allen, against their best corner, Jordan Thomas. Got to take your chances and give him one. If you're Greg Ward, just a little high and outside, you'd like to have that one back.
So here's a guy that kicked all of 8 times last year, and this is his 3rd field goal try of the first half. 34 yards. And he's 3 for 3. 1-point game, 4.5 remaining. Cummings angling that kickoff, forcing a touchback. Oklahoma will start at the 25. Here's Perine straight ahead. And close to the first down. Brought down by Khalil Williams. 11-yard gain. What do you got, Luke?
Guys, sometimes you just got to say no. You just have to. I didn't even bring my grill today.
You didn't bring the grill?
No. Grill's at the hotel, boys.
Luke's, come on.
Here's D.D. Westbrook. And can't get away from Brandon Wilson. The help comes, and it's a gain of 2 on the play. A 2nd down and 8. Like, it just goes back to the personality of Tom Herman. And Houston is trying to get in the Big 12.
Yeah.
And if they do, you would think there's a really good chance Herman stays. But if they don't get into the Big 12, if Houston keeps winning, this program continues to ascend, he might be able to pick his job. He could have had the South Carolina job last year, elected to stay at Houston. Mayfield off play action. He's going to run. Heads for the sideline. Out at the 42-yard line. We'll have a 3rd down and about 4 here.
Tom Herman just relates so well to the players, too. He's a young coach. He's high energy. He makes it fun for the guys. I'll tell you what, if I'm a kid and I'm thinking about coming to play college football, Tom Herman would be a guy I would love to be recruited by. I think he does an incredible job. And his defense is going to have to be up to the task here on 3rd and 4, trying to get the ball back. Here and get the ball back in the hands of Greg Ward.
Mayfield is 9 for 9 passing, 162 yards and a touchdown. Will he throw it here? It's an option. Mayfield keeps, and he's well short of the first down. It's Ed Oliver who is all over it. One of the biggest recruits in the history of Group 5 conferences, a 5-star guy from here in Houston.
Yeah, look at that Oliver. I mean, he is absolutely unblockable at times, how good he is. I mean, he is as athletic as a linebacker, as big as a defensive end, and as powerful as a defensive tackle. Lugs, I know you had him rated very high coming out of high school.
First 5-star ever to join a group of 5 programs. We see the punt come on here.
Good punt by Seibert, and the fair catch inside the 10 by Stephen Dunbar. Of Houston inside the 10 here, nearing 2 minutes to go. And Duke Catalan goes nowhere. Let's see if Bob Stoops calls a timeout. Little extracurricular activity. He's going to let the clock run here. Both teams have 3 timeouts.
Houston.
I'm surprised that he's not calling timeout. I'm sure he's waiting to see what happens on 2nd down, but you got 3 of them.
Yeah, but I think also with the way this Oklahoma offense operates, you don't need a ton of time. You'd rather have your offense on the field with timeouts in tow.
Ward pitches it at the last second to Catalan, and Catalan has a 1st down and more. That's why Stoops didn't call timeout. Because at least you took 30 seconds off the clock, and now Houston is in a manageable situation out near its 27-yard line after a 19-yard run.
You would expect Houston to still be a little conservative offensively. You don't want to throw it 3 times and give the ball back with a lot of time to the Oklahoma Sooners.
And as you said earlier, you don't have to throw it to get big plays because you get this guy.
Not at all. I mean, this guy, you send everybody deep, give him room, he'll make a big play with his legs, even if it's not drawn up that way.
They fake the screen, now throw it the other way, incomplete. Probably smart play by Catalan that time, not to dive for it, just let it hit the ground and let the clock stop with 32 seconds left.
Man, I'll tell you what, Charles Walker, 97, he just put a hit on Greg Ward. I mean, that's consecutive plays now where Greg's gotten hit. Maybe lose it just a little bit earlier if you're going to throw it away. Watch him roll to his right. Man, that's 6'2", 299 pounds of mean. Greg Ward needs to get the ball out of his hands a little faster.
Third and 10. Ward running around, being chased by everybody in the Sooners defense. Ward gets out of there, throws it downfield. It's caught as he inbounds. Yes!
Wow.
Bonner with a grab inside the 45. The clock is running. The clock should have stopped. It's a 1st down. Nobody's caught the fact that the clock is running. Wow, what a catch.
Wow.
A timeout is called. There was 6 seconds that came off the clock that should not have, though. They put 4 seconds back on the clock. So we're at 18 seconds. Houston's got 2 timeouts left. Ball at the Oklahoma 42. Ty Cummings, the kicker's career long, by the way, is 45. As Ward steps up, throws it deep into the end zone for Johnson. He can't catch up to it. Isaiah Johnson had Dakota Austin beat, but could not catch up to the ball. 11 seconds left in the half.
He ran right by him. Isaiah Johnson, this guy, they say he's got big-time speed. He just got to put it all together. How about this stat line? In their spring game, Isaiah Johnson right there, 15 receptions, 292 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's a spring game performance. 14, real speedster, almost caught up to that one for a touchdown before the half.
Ward on 3rd down. Eludes one man and throws a strike to Bonner, and he gets out of bounds. He picked up the 1st down anyway. Clock stops with 3 seconds left. They got to kick a field goal here.
You have to.
And this is right at Ty Cummings' long of 45 yards from last year. But again, how about Greg Ward buying time and then throwing a dart?
Really well done. Well executed 2-minute drill. Add the penalty, get a free 1st down. You got to make the most of it. Good job by the senior quarterback getting his team in field goal position.
47-yard field goal try by Ty Cummings to give Houston the lead going into the locker room. And it's good. A perfect half for Ty Cummings. 4 of 4 on field goals. And Houston will get the ball to start the third quarter, and they'll have a lead.
Well done. That would have been good from a lot further than 47. Had some adrenaline going right there by Cummings.
Coming up, it's the college football halftime report. Can't think of a better man to fill in for the late John Saunders, a true pro, than a pro himself, and Stan Barrett. Stan, Mark May, and Mac Brown coming up. College football halftime report after these messages. Welcome back to the Advocare Texas Kickoff, presented on ABC by Walmart as part of Field and Stream Stores Kickoff Week. Well, it's been 32 years since Houston knocked off a top 3 team, and the Cougars are in front at halftime, leading number 3 Oklahoma 19-17. Dave Pasch and Greg McElroy, Tom Luganville, our field analyst. And boy, Greg, what an entertaining first half. It's exactly what we thought. We also thought the 2 quarterbacks would be the headliners, and both were terrific. That's We've Got You Covered, brought to you by Jiffy Lube.
They're unbelievable. Look at the stat lines for both. Obviously, Baker Mayfield, his team's losing. Look at that stat line. 9 for 9, 162 and a tud. 15-28 for Greg Ward. Really throwing the ball well. Decisive with his throws, too. Been very accurate. Missed a few down the left-hand side, but for the most part, this is an improved passing quarterback. He hasn't done much on the ground, though. He's had to make up for it because he only has 16 yards rushing. He's been phenomenal, especially on third down when they're in the field. They need to also pick it up a little bit in the red zone.
Oklahoma was without Samanje Perine for a bit at running back in that first half, but Joe Mixon had a terrific first half with a big catch, and he also had a rushing touchdown. Houston will start the second half with the football. Brandon Wilson finds a running lane. Wilson all the way to the 37-yard line. 9 carries for Ward, 16 yards. Catalan had 64 rushing yards and had a receiving touchdown. And here is Catalan on first down. And he is wrestled by Matt Diamond to the ground. A loss of 1 on the play. Good job up front by the senior from nearby Katy, Texas.
I always think the first drive of the third quarter is one of the most important of the entire game. It shows you the adjustments you made at halftime.
Catalan again into a wall of Sooners at the point of attack. 3rd and long coming up here for Houston.
Big third down right here early on. Greg Ward, they've never been afraid to call a run play, even on 3rd and long right here. But today the choice has been to throw the ball down the field. Let's see if they find number 88 down here at the bottom of the screen, one-on-one against number 7. He's liked that matchup so far today.
Yeah, Dunbar, 6 catches already, 103 yards. Play clock down at 4. They go empty. Ward in trouble in the pocket, and this time they got him. It's Jordan Wade. That is no easy task to get Greg Ward to the ground, despite the fact he's a $185.
Yeah, you see Greg Ward eyes immediately down here to his left. He was looking for Dunbar on the go route. Good job by Jordan Wade, 6'3", 310, wrapping up the very difficult to defend quarterback for Houston.
So Dane Roy, a 27-year-old punter, when he was coming over after he agreed to play at Houston, he was FaceTiming his special teams coach with a cocktail in his hand. You knew that when you're 27.
At 27. It's a very interesting story.
And the fair catch made at the 27-yard line. You saw the graphic, former ice cream salesman.
Yeah. He won the punt passing kick essentially for the entire country of Australia. It's our continent of Australia. I mean, former ice cream salesman. It's classic, though. He was working on some onside kick and obviously a deep Australian accent when he was readying the kickoff team. Okay, Mike, go. It was classic. When he was there, you could hear it from a mile away. He's been very popular in the locker room so far.
He's in his Mayfield throws here on 3rd and 7. It's caught. Westbrook waiting, gets the first down. All the way to the 37-yard line. D.D. Westbrook, the newcomer of the year in the Big 12, as a former junior college All-American.
Watch the receivers on the outside. Look how long they engage these blocks. Jeff Nade, 15, pushing the outside. D.G. Westbrook setting it up. Well done on the outside. Westbrook will get the yards.
Here's
and
Westbrook
get some more right here.
Down to the 30-yard line, brought down by Adams. A gain of 8 on the play.
Westbrook will get these yards, but it's the guys blocking in front of him that really deserve a lot of credit, springing him and allowing him to work in space.
They've targeted Westbrook 6 times. He's caught all 6 passes. Granted, there are a lot of short throws to him. Out in the flat. Ball on the 30-yard line. 2nd and 2. Mayfield pulls it back. Gonna go for it all. Overthrew Westbrook with Winchester in coverage. 3rd and 2.
I want to point out a guy right here, number 41 for Houston, Stephen Taylor, doesn't get enough credit. He sheds the block of Mixon, doesn't allow Baker Mayfield to get through the throw. As a result, the ball finishes wide and outside. That's a great job by the leading returning tackler for this Houston defense, setting up a 3rd and short.
And Mayfield there holding that right forearm after the shot by Taylor. That's his first incompletion. 3rd and 2. They're going to throw it. Mayfield moving around, trying to see over the defense. Now runs. And, boy, it looked like he had the first down, and then he got pushed out maybe behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, they're going to mark him just short, it would appear. Or are they going to rule that he had forward progress first? They're actually going to mark him past the line now. Looked initially like he went out of bounds.
It's close. He's
Prior to the line of scrimmage.
He's trying to tell Samanje Perine, hey, come get a block for me. Instead, Samanje essentially shuts the door.
Hey, forward progress isn't stopped there. Now, he did stretch the ball out, but it looked like he was out of bounds before the first down marker. Let's see if they review this further. First down for Oklahoma inside the 30-yard line. Mayfield off play action, drilled and sacked by Stephen Taylor. He had 10 sacks a year ago.
What a great job by Stephen Taylor right here. Look at him time up the blitz. He sees the head nod. See the pulling guard right there. Cody Ford can't get out quick enough to take a piece off of him. Picks up his first sack of the 2016 season. I would assume there'll be many more where that came from.
He's a terrific player, a senior from Cedar Hill, Texas. 6-yard loss for Oklahoma. They spread it out here 5 wide. Mayfield with a quick toss to Mixon. Houston all over it. Mixon loses a couple. Gerard Carter there first, along with Matthew Adams.
If you've noticed, guys, Oklahoma has completely abandoned any attempt to run the football. I don't know if it's a lack of confidence in their offensive line. Perine, this entire drive, aside from the attempt where Baker Mayfield got hit throwing the post, has been a bubble screen, a flare route, or a wide receiver quick screen. I think they're trying to get Houston tired on defense, but right now, Houston's got all the momentum. It's not working.
Perine has been in and out of the lineup due to injury in this game. 3rd and 18. Mayfield being chased by Taylor. Spins around. Mayfield throws it away. Incomplete. He was outside the pocket, came back in, so that's a legal throw. No grounding. It is 4th down.
They went with the exact same play that they hit Mark Andrews on for the touchdown a little earlier in the game. This time, Houston's defense knew exactly where 81 was when he crossed the field, and they did a good job containing Baker Mayfield as he tried to create.
I know you watched a lot of film and you watch practice of Houston's defense, but are you surprised at what you're seeing from them defensively?
No, because they're an aggressive front. They try to dictate with their blitzes and pressures. They're very talented, too. The strength of this team is the front 7, and if you want to play football against Power 5 programs like Oklahoma, that better be very deep and very athletic.
53-yard field goal attempt, which would be a career-long for Austin Seibert. It's short, and here's Brandon Wilson returning it. Wilson past the 30, past the 40. Wilson might take it all the way. He hurdles his own man and takes it home. Touchdown, Houston. He was the only player with multiple touchdowns on offense, defense, and special teams a year ago. He took that thing from one end of the field to the other. And I don't know if Oklahoma ever saw him. There's a flag down, likely for celebration in the end zone after the score.
Unsportsmanlike conduct by number 1 of the return team. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. It's his first of the game.
Wilson's fun to watch.
It's 26-17. Houston leads midway through the third.
Take a look at it. I mean, look at, they're starting to cover down a little bit too late.
That's why I said, Greg, are you sure they thought that there was a player under there?
I stand corrected.
I don't think they knew he was down there.
I'm with you. I think that they realized it as soon as he caught it. Clearly in there.
It was such a delayed reaction.
It was.
By Oklahoma. That's on the coaches.
And they had a timeout before that to talk about it. The last missed field goal for a touchdown. Tyron Carrier, 2010 against Southern Miss. Houston did it a few years ago.
Get Tom in here.
Guys, what you've got to understand about a play like that is you're out personnel. The field goal protection team, they got to have the big guys to protect. The return team's got all the skill guys. So you got elephants on ice versus jackrabbits. There's no way you're going to cover that.
And because of the celebration penalty, they kick off from the 20. Here's Mixon. Mixon runs into his own guy. Brought down to the 32-yard line. A decent starting field position for Oklahoma. Here's Mixon. Upended after a short gain. Brandon Wilson on the tackle.
Take a look at this defensive front. You see Ed Oliver. You see the first attempt to run the football. But this program and what an Ed Oliver does to it, and you don't even have to leave the state of Texas. So you're local with Houston at Ed Oliver, a 5-star player. The perception of the program is changing, and you can do your entire recruiting footprint within a couple hundred miles of your city.
Mayfield moving out of the pocket, being chased, nowhere to go, and he got it to his man, Baxter. Gang tackled and fumbled the ball. It's picked up by Houston. The Cougars get it. Howard Wilson comes up with it. Just a great play by Mayfield to keep the play alive and find Baxter, but then he couldn't hang on to the ball. Mayfield thinks he was down.
And Baxter is going to the ground. Watch this left knee. Let's see if it goes down before the ball comes out. It looks to me like this call is going to be overturned. Now, you can't see where the ball's coming out at, though, so it's difficult to tell.
So Houston with a huge opportunity here to extend the lead. They're already at midfield after the takeaway. Ward will keep, and he'll get squashed. Charles Walker takes him down for a loss in a play.
Tell you what, you got to give Oklahoma's defense a lot of credit. I mean, they've limited. They knew that the quarterback run game could really hurt them. Greg Ward has done very little on the ground so far. 11 rushes, just 7 yards. That is very uncharacteristic for an explosive runner.
You saw him there, Greg, shaking that right arm after that tackle by Walker. How effective will he be if he has to throw it here?
6 passing touchdowns.
Option and a late pitch, but they ran out of room on the boundary. Okoronkwo was there. Catalan took the pitch and went out at about the 47. Another setback, 1-yard loss, 3rd and 12. See Ward there still favoring that right arm a bit.
Just a little bit. You have to assume his right arm is just a little bit bruised or something. That can affect very easily the way the ball comes out of your hand. Forearm is very tender, makes it difficult to throw the ball accurately.
Pressure coming from OU on 3rd and 12. Single coverage, and Dunbar is there. Dunbar at 100 yards in the first half. He gets a first down on 3rd and 12 here, a gain of 22.
Going against Oklahoma's best corner on the back shoulder. It's impossible to cover. And Greg Ward has hit not one, but now two to Dunbar down the left-hand side on that exact throw. Big-time pickup. And Greg Ward continues to excel on 3rd down in the field.
And again, it's Greg Ward was considered primarily a runner last year, even though he had 17 touchdown passes. He has really improved as a passer in midfield. They're in the red zone now. It's Catalan, stood up, and it's Jordan Wade there first for Oklahoma. Minimal gain on 1st and 10.
Keep going back to Greg Ward and how dynamic he was when you put on the tape and watched him run around and create and be explosive on the ground. Seeing the clinic that he's putting on through the air has got to be really encouraging for this Houston offense.
Got a touchdown pass in this game. 2nd and 10. And here's De'Aaron King inside the 15-yard line. Tackled at the 14 by Evans. King, a true freshman who signed as a quarterback, was moved to wide receiver when there were some injuries at that position. Up-tempo Houston trying to get up to the line quickly on 3rd and 4. Here's Ward with a quick throw to the flat. They got numbers out there. And it's a first down for Chance Allen, fighting through an arm tackle. 1st and goal, Houston.
Look at this tempo, guys. They've got him on the ropes. They've got the numbers the way they want to, getting the ball on the perimeter, because you got 3-on-2 advantages. Really well executed here.
Here's Ward on the design quarterback run. Stiff arms one guy and can't get away from Okoronkwo. A loss of 4 back at the 13-yard line.
It's a good job by Okoronkwo right there. He has made some mistakes in this game, no doubt, but he is still an explosive pass rusher. He's really good in the backfield. Look on the sideline right here. You look at...
We're looking at the replay here to see if Okoronkwo,
man,
oh man,
I'll tell you what, he's got a big hold of that. That would have been another 15-yard penalty on Okoronkwo. We had the roughing the passer earlier that led to points at the end of the first half on the field goal drive.
Instead, it's 2nd and goal from the 13-yard line. Ward throwing in the dirt. Pass intended for Chance Allen. You and Tom on SportsCenter detailed how Oklahoma practiced to get Ward. It didn't see a lot of it in the first half, but here in the second half, twice they've really hurt Houston by making plays on Ward in the pocket to get into the ground. We'll see what they do against him here on 3rd and goal. Pressure up the middle. Ward lobbing it. End zone. Incomplete. But a penalty marker down at the goal line. Chance Allen, the intended receiver. Dakota Austin was in coverage.
Pass interference by number 27 of the defense. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
That's 4 third-down conversions on this drive alone.
Think about how they've gotten some 3rd downs in this game. You've had a pass interference early on that led to points. You have a pass interference here that very well could lead to points, possibly 6 points here as they get 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. You have the roughing the passer that led to a field goal at the end of the first half. I think is the correct call. They got to be smarter when the ball's in the air.
1st and goal on the 2. That's Catalan behind Ward. Ward to throw. He's got McCloskey, and he's got a touchdown. Greg Ward with 300 passing yards now. A pair of touchdowns. Houston with 4 third-down conversions. A couple of third-and-long conversions. Then the penalty, giving them 1st and goal on the 2, and they score on the next play. It's a 16-point Houston lead late in the 3rd quarter.
Tyler McCloskey, he does it all for him. He blocks. He's a fullback. He's an H-back. He's a tight end. He can do it all. Right there, giving him a little love on the goal line. Touchdown, Cougars.
City.
Here's Mixon straddling the goal line. Crossing the 20. Oh, he gets crunched at the 25 minute. Mayfield rolling out with a defender right there, dumps it off. And it's a 1st down for Perine, stays in bounds. It's finally leveled out of play by Matthew Adams. Perine, a guy that didn't catch the ball a lot out of the backfield, but they've thrown it to him several times here in this ball game. They moved the sticks here with a pass to Perine.
It was a good call by Lincoln Riley. Get Baker Mayfield outside where he's comfortable. Get him moving. If no one's open, he still would have had the opportunity to possibly run for the 1st down. Huge pickup for the Sooner offense.
Inside a minute to play here in the 3rd. Mayfield, Mixon's covered. Mayfield coming to the other side and throws it away. Jordan Smallwood was covered by Winchester. Smart play by the Oklahoma quarterback.
Really smart. Sometimes the best play is throw it away. I mean, now that doesn't necessarily look great on the stat sheet, for sure. I understand that, but if there's nothing there, don't make a bad play worse. Sometimes the defense wins. They're on scholarship too. Good play by Baker Mayfield, throwing it away and protecting 2nd and 10.
Only 3 incompletions on the day for Mayfield. He was perfect in the 1st half. 2nd and 10 from the Sooner 47-yard line. And the play clock is down to 3. They're not lined up right. Play clock at 1. They have only 1 timeout. They get the play off. Mixon reversing field. Great run by Mixon. Close to a 1st down. Boy, he is talented.
He is so quick. I mean, one cut, he can run inside the tackles, he can run outside the tackles. The perfect complementary piece to Samanje Perine in the backfield. What a 1-2 punch the Sooners have at running back.
3rd and a yard. The play clock and game clock are the same, so they got to snap it here. Final play of the quarter. Mixon on the catch. And Mixon meets the defender at the 40. Winchester has the 1st down to the 39. So Oklahoma's on the move, but it's all Houston right now. The Cougars 33, Sooners 17 with 1 quarter to play. Oklahoma was in the college football playoff last year. Houston hoping that if it wins today, yeah, we got a whole season to go, but everybody will be talking about if they were to win out, would a group of 5 team make the college football playoff?
With a potential win over Oklahoma and Louisville? Absolutely.
First things first, Oklahoma on the move here inside the 40. And this could be a double pass. It is. Westbrook throwing it downfield, incomplete. He had Flowers.
This one will haunt you. I've missed throws like this before, believe me. This one, D.D. Westbrook, I'll remember this one for a while. Just tried to steer it. Anybody that's learning the quarterback position at home, never steer it, just throw it. Got a little bit too cute. Didn't finish his throw as a result. A little bit too far for the intended wide receiver.
A missed opportunity there. Houston's making the big plays. Oklahoma has been just off since that first quarter when they scored 10 points. Mayfield lost the ball. Houston's got it. Another turnover by the Sooners. Cameron Malvo comes up with the ball. Another takeaway for the Cougars.
Look at this right here. Tried to step up in the pocket. It's a great hand right there from Tyus Bowser. And a great recovery from Cameron Malvo. Baker's got everything you want. He's got two hands on the ball. Sometimes the defense just makes a play. Houston has relied on turnovers for so many years. Looks like that trend's going to continue here in 2016, Dave.
110 takeaways the last 3 years. That spreads two regimes of head coaches, but a lot of the same plays. Here's De'Aaron King on the loose, and he picks up 9 yards to the 46-yard line. I guess the rule is you don't count out Tom Herman. He's got really good players, too, as we've seen. Again, the Navy game, Louisville last year, Florida State in the bowl game. Here's Catalon. Great play by Jordan Thomas. That's a huge stop. Make it third down, about 4 now.
Yeah, this is a Houston, but if you want to expand it 2 more games, how about the run that he put together at Ohio State as the offensive coordinator in 2014, beating Alabama in the Sugar Bowl with a third-string quarterback. Tom Herman, look, he understands that he has a chip on his shoulder. This team has a chip on theirs. They're ready to earn their respect.
Huge play here for the Oklahoma defense. They rush 3, and the pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage. So the Oklahoma defense, thanks to the hand of Charles Walker, might get off the field unless Houston goes for it on 4th down.
I don't think they will. I don't think it's a safe play, Dave. They're going to go ahead and kick it again. Field position will be pivotal here as the 4th quarter continues to wind down. Thank goodness for Oklahoma to get the hand up and bat the ball from the 5'11" quarterback there in Greg Ward. You have got to keep your offense on the field as much as you can this quarter, because nothing has gone right for Oklahoma on offense in the second half.
Lugs, watching this Houston team, I mean, people that don't know them, you might not think they have the same level of talent as Oklahoma. That is starting to change with their most recent recruiting class, is it not?
It totally is. They look like TCU on the hoof, guys. That's what they look like.
And Baxter with a fair catch, and here's a flag. Isaiah Johnson interfered. That is going to put the ball near midfield for Oklahoma.
Catch interference on the kicking team. It's a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
All right, let's bring in our national recruiting director for ESPN, Tom Luganville.
Well, we talk so much about Oklahoma's presence in recruiting down in the state of California, state of Texas. You look at the map. Of course, they're going to have a significant presence, but look at Houston the last 2 years under Tom Herman, and look at not only the players that have been signed in the classes out of the state, but also the players out of Houston and the immediate area. Now, we've heard some backlash for some Big 12 coaches that we've had discussion about expansion. Why do you think that is? I'll tell you why it is. Because in recruiting with the footprint, they could recruit their entire class here at Houston and not get on an airplane.
That's amazing. Mayfield in trouble. Somehow gets out of there. And they finally corral him for a sack at the 37-yard line. And guess who? Ed Oliver, who we've talked about a lot. 5-star recruit. Look at the motor. Just watch it.
I mean, he starts on the stun away. He makes sure the back doesn't get out too clean. And then, you know what? Let me go find this quarterback on the sideline. Let me get a hold of him. I want to get a sack. Ed Oliver, excuse me, is just incredible at nose tackle. For an 18-year-old super freshman, he's going to be a handful for everyone he plays this year.
2nd down and 22. You'd have to think Oklahoma's 4-down territory with 6.5 to go. We got to hurry the play clock down to 2. Mayfield over the middle. Andrews dropped the ball. Pass might have been a little high, but normally sure-handed Mark Andrews unable to pull that one down. So it's 3rd down and 22. Are you with me? This is 4-down territory for
Absolutely.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, 2-score game. You got to make sure you have enough time left on the clock if, in fact, you are unsuccessful on a 2-point conversion. If you score, especially with the way your defense is playing and the way Houston can explode, you got to go for it here.
But you got to get something here. You can't be in 4th and 22. They try to get something, a chunk with Westbrook, and they do out to the 49. Or excuse me, the 44, so 7 yards, but it's 4th and 15, and Oklahoma will go for it here.
I'm trying to rack my brain. I think you got to find 25. Joe Mixon, who's going onto the field right now. I think he's going to be eaten up because I expect Todd Orlando, the defensive coordinator, to blitz right here. Therefore, the next best target, find number 11, D.D. Westbrook. He's alone at the top in one-on-one coverage.
Mayfield on 4th and long. Everybody covered. Mayfield looking, takes off, but no way. He loses the ball. Mixon picks it up. Now Mixon running back at the 30-yard line. And he's drilled at the 29 by Howard Wilson. The Cougars will take over on downs inside the Sooner 30. From the Sooner 30-yard line, here's King. He's inside the 20-yard line and pushed out of bounds at the 15. Take a look at our Pacific Life game summary with 5.5 remaining here in the 4th quarter. The big play, obviously, the missed field goal return for a touchdown. And Oklahoma had a big drive in that first quarter, and they have really done nothing on offense since.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been big plays for Oklahoma. They haven't been able to consistently sustain drives offensively. Baker Mayfield hasn't played a bad game, but they haven't been able to attack in the run game. This Houston defense has been tenacious. I am so impressed with this bunch and how athletic they are.
Here's Catalan pushing the pile. The clock continues to run. And if you're an Oklahoma fan, you've seen this movie before. Your preseason top 5. You have all the hype. You're coming off a playoff appearance. And you struggle out of the gate.
And look, if I'm Oklahoma, if I come up short in this game, still have 11 games against the Power 5 schedule, a 9-game Big 12 schedule. Plenty of meat on the bone to get back in the conversation, including a non-conference game against Ohio State in a couple weeks. This Oklahoma team, you better not count them out just yet.
Well, they clearly got some work to do on defense.
Offensive line, more than anything else.
Right.
That offensive line has got to come together.
And how healthy is Perine the rest of the way? Here's Catalan running through defenders, pushing the pile, and down to the 1-yard line. Houston about to provide the dagger with 4:15 on the clock and a 1st and goal. They go up tempo. Oklahoma not lined up. Had trouble with the handoff. The ball is fumbled into the end zone. Oklahoma has it, it would appear. It's a touchback. Oklahoma has possession in the end zone. A turnover on the goal line by Houston with 4:03 to go. Wow.
Why do you do that, guys? Just hand the ball off.
Makes no sense. On the goal line, 1-yard line, Oklahoma's hands on their hips defensively. They're worn out. They're gassed. Why have a zone read right here where the quarterback is a 50-50 option?
Unbelievable.
This can only end poorly. You give it because you have 3 downs to score, maybe 4 if you want them. Run the ball downhill.
Hand it off and walk away.
Will Johnson recovered it. You see Catalan, if he recovers, it's a touchdown. Everything has to go right over the last 4:03. He didn't have a shot just to tie the game.
Biggest thing, just get a completion on the first snap. Get the drive started.
Mayfield to the sideline. A sliding catch made by A.D. Miller inbounds, so the clock moves.
I think time is of the essence right here. You got to move a little faster.
And the clock will stop if Oklahoma gets a 1st down. A lot of time off the play clock here for the check.
They see the blitz off the right-hand side, so they're trying to get to it, but valuable time coming off.
And 30 seconds between snaps, essentially. Mayfield, a strike to Westbrook, who's free. And Westbrook slammed to the turf. The clock will stop as they move the chains out to the 47 with 3:19 to play.
At this point, maybe a double move with D.D. Westbrook, maybe a slant and go, something to try to steal one. A few plays into the drive, this is when you might take a chance to go downfield.
Mayfield pumps to the sideline, and It's incomplete, and that's a good thing for Oklahoma that it was, because he appeared to be inbounds. Had he caught that, the clock would be running right now instead of it just being 2nd and 10.
I'll be honest with you, Baker Mayfield's shoulder, his left shoulder went up, which makes me think he was trying to throw the ball deep. Westbrook sat it down, though. Maybe they weren't on the same page. It looked like they were trying to take a shot there, possibly. With the only really, truly experienced receiver coming back, Baker Mayfield trying to find him here in an important situation.
Mayfield to Mixon out in space. But man, again, Ed Oliver, the 300-pounder out there covering a running back
on a swing route.
The guy's like an amoeba. He's everywhere. He just takes over the field. Hey, fellas, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the defensive secondary for Oklahoma. This was a team that lost every starter, including a first-rounder on the back end. They had led the country in forced turnovers, and a big percentage of that came from the secondary. They've done a remarkable job outside of the opening throw to Joe Mixon.
You're absolutely right. This Houston secondary has been outstanding today.
Mayfield. Again, everybody covered. Mixon on the dump-off. He runs through the arms of Garrett Davis. They stop the clock with the ball at the 39. Yeah, William Jackson was a first-round draft pick, late first-round pick. And as you guys watch film, I know you were uncertain. I think everybody was, including the coaches, about how this group would come together. But they were the bright spot on defense of training camp, according to the coaches. Mayfield looking for somebody to come open. It's Geno Lewis. Clock will stop again. 2:23 and counting. Once they reset the ball, ball is on the 25 of Houston. Mayfield with time. Now the pocket collapses, and the pass is out of bounds. Mayfield got leveled by Matthew Adams.
And they're bringing pressure. I mean, that's pretty amazing when you think about it. It's a 2-minute situation. It's huge, important downs. And you're able to call blitzes on the fly. Todd Orlando is. They practice these blitz schemes over and over and over again. He says, look, blitzes are our base defense. So they're very comfortable running them in these situations, and not a lot of teams are. So a lot of credit.
Mayfield on 2nd and 10, throwing it deep into the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown by Mark Andrews. Penalty flag is down. Andrews with a huge grab, his 2nd touchdown if it stands. And they'll go for 2.
Pass interference by number 1 in the defense. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
They'll go for 2, trailing by 10.
Not a great throw from Baker Mayfield, but what a great catch by Mark Andrews. He had a touchdown earlier on a long, uncontested over route. Now he shows that he can catch it with some interference alongside. 4th down, though. This is a gotta-have-it situation, without question.
They were shut out in the 2nd half by Clemson in the playoffs, shut out by Houston in the 2nd half to this point. But they need this. Mayfield, back of the end zone, broken up. Big-time play by Howard Wilson on Jeffrey Mead. And it remains a 10-point Houston lead. Houston made a New Year's 6 bowl game last year, knocked off number 9 Florida State. If they win today, it'll be the first time in program history where they knock off top 10 teams in consecutive games. And Tom Herman would not let any of the players talk at all about the Peach Bowl win. In fact, when referring to that team, they referred to it as that team. They never said us. Even in talking with the players yesterday, Herman had them so brainwashed that a couple of times Greg Ward said, well, that team last year. They listened.
And they also, during their offseason workouts, didn't have any swag or gear from that Peach Bowl. They had a big question mark on it, said, who are you going to be this year? They're off to a good start.
They have to try the onside kick here, and it's loose on the field. It appears Houston recovered it. Well, Houston had a chance initially on the first bounce, but they did recover it. It's Houston ball. Here's Ward trying to stay in bounds, guys. It'll be 3rd and long. Go ahead, Tom.
Smart play there by Greg Ward, staying in bounds and just laying down. I think it's a little premature to say absolutely. I still believe with the schedule in its entirety, you're going to have to look at what other teams could finish undefeated, if maybe multiple teams. And it doesn't get easier within the American. It gets harder because when you have the best personnel, you're expected to win every game. If you slip up against anybody in your conference, it's over. And I think that's the scariest notion for Houston.
And meanwhile, for Oklahoma, as you said earlier, guys, if they were to come back and win the Big 12, they're not out of the conversation, but clearly the guys that they lost on defense, they miss in a big way. And offensively, their line struggled today. They couldn't sustain drives.
They need to figure out their offensive line. I mean, they got to be able to run the football a lot better than they did today in order to have the season a lot of people thought they could have.
Tom Herman finding his wife. The Houston Cougars are the new darlings of college football. They knock off Oklahoma 33-23. They surprised people last year beating Florida State. For the most part, they handled Oklahoma today. Only 13 points the final 3 quarters for the offense that averaged 44 points per game last year, Oklahoma, and had its stars, most of them anyway, returning on offense.
And if you look at their offense, it was all big plays. This defense for Houston, unbelievable.
Here's Tom.
Well, Coach, you shocked the world once again. Now this is becoming routine. It's not becoming exception. What do you have to say about your kids today?
They play really hard, and they play for each other. There's a genuine love on this football team. The game should have been over. We put the ball on the carpet, and not one defensive guy, not one, was hanging their head. They say, we got you, offense, and they came through.
You have brainwashed this team when referring to the past as they or that team. Could you argue that this is one of the most coachable teams you've ever had?
Very much. Very businesslike. There's no pushback. The culture from day one was ingrained. There was no complacency. I absolutely love these guys, and we got to go get ready to play another one.
Hey, go enjoy this with your guys. One heck of a job.
Go Cougs.
But the demeanor much different from Herman than it was at the end of last year when they beat Florida State. They still got 4 months of football left.
A chance to be really special.
Coming up next from Lambeau Field, it is Wisconsin and LSU. For Greg McElroy, Tom Luganville, our entire outstanding ABC crew, I'm Dave Pasch. So long from Houston, where the Cougars knock off the Oklahoma Sooners 33-23.